What do you say? It's a pleasure. What's that? Oh, Baba. What's wrong? Nini, true sugar. Let's have a here. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Friday trading show. Oh, come on, it's not a Friday, a Thursday trading show. I don't know. My PC today it's a bit slow, so we will struggle, but don't worry. We'll do it together. We'll struggle through it together, and we know how we start the show. Welcome again. The first thing first, when we start the show, you all know how we started. We start with the Johannesburg Stock Exchange close, and let's get into it. Let me feel well. Okay. The Johannesburg Stock Exchange. So on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, we have the Johannesburg Top 40, which is down 2%, but on the top gainers and top losers, with the top gainers, not so much gain that the Johannesburg had on the top gainers, but leading the charts of Bid Corporation, which is up 2.39%, Growth Point, Bidvest Group, process just above one point something percent, which Growth Point at 1.6%, Bidvest Group 1.43%, process 1.27%, and the last one 0.78%. While on the top loser side, we have Northern Platinum down 9.28%, Impala down 9.16%, M10 Group, Glencoe, and Valterra Platinum, they are all down 5% for the day. So this is Johannesburg Stock Exchange. That's how the Johannesburg Stock Exchange closed today, with Old Mutual and Growth Point being the highest traded um, stocks in the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. That's how we closed the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. However, going into the US, the New York, as we're coming to the PM session, something has been interesting has been happening. We have um, oh, come on, this thing is extremely slow today. I don't know, this thing is extremely slow today. It's fine. If it's gonna be continue, what I wanted to speak about was look at that. JP Morgan highlights growing vulnerability in stock positioning. J- JP Morgan is flagging rising vulnerability across stock markets as investor position remains heavily screwed towards equities even after recent unwinds in some crowded trade. The bank noted that momentum driven long position in precious metals were partially reduced, which is true. That's one thing which I also wanted to speak about long-term positioning of. I think yesterday we spoke about this. Come on, what am I saying? Long-term positioning in metals like your gold and silver. We can just look at the COT data. Let me just do this, maybe. Ah, come on, man. Slow today. I don't know. Let me do this. Here we go. Uh, okay, we spoke about the JP Morgan. I said I wanted to discuss why we have, when you look at COT data, as indicated that there's been a lot of closure in silver. But before that, something interesting is happening here. While opening that, let's look at the charts here. Something is happening. But I'm gonna wait for this 5 minutes closing. The question is, can we hold this breaker, a 5 minutes breaker, and get a move like that? If we can't hold that and comes out to sweep that low, I can look for reversal below this low. Combo, you don't hear me, ne? You don't listen to me. Why are you watching these things? Don't explain. Please change. Don't explain to me. Change. Thank you, Nana. You don't have to watch blue. You can watch something else. You can watch something else, but you can't watch those stuff. It's fine as well. Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna see if it's gonna hold that. If it holds at 5 minutes and flips back up, it's good side for a long move. But it would be nice if it come back and take out the AM session low, hey? That would be nice. Reduce the volume a bit, Nana. Yeah, I think so. Reduce the volume a bit. Come on. Reduce the volume a bit. But anyway, while looking at that, I said we'll look into the COT data while we're waiting for that. This thing is not done loading. Ridiculous. Just waiting to see because we got an invasion and continue. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if it's gonna hold. Yeah, I'm just sitting and watching. I don't have any buyers today. We might have a very slow stream today. That is why I want this to finish loading so we can speak about what JP Morgan was trying to say when they said most of them are heavily moved to the long term positioning into into the precious metal, your gold, silver, has been reduced, and we see mainly that in the COT data. I'm just opening the Edge Finder, which will directly give us those figures. Yes. Which will directly give us the figures. But I don't know. My things are slow today, man. And if we hold this 5 minutes, perhaps something will happen. But I'm doubting to attempt longs because this is terrible. This is terrible price action. Let's see. Something is happening here. Let me see if we can get longs. We'll try the first long if it holds that 5. Let me see. Oh, God. Okay. I'm gonna attempt it. Uh, I'll attempt longs here. So Nasdaq is weaker. Okay. Close above, I'm gonna attempt long. If it close and retest, I'm gonna attempt long here. Set up my limits. What? For what? The way I went long, guys. I got filled there. With a break here. No. I'll show you now. I don't know if the long will flow on along, but yeah. Oh, I went long, guys. I'm looking at, sorry, I'm looking at that. That if we come take out that, something will happen. So let's see. Um, Preferable move to stop loss break even there. Start closing above. That would be interesting for me to move to break even. So I think I'm happy with this move here. Here we go. Close above, leave a fair value gap. I would love for another move to come close above here. That will allow me to move to break even because you'll have this breaker and I'll definitely move to a break even. So just another 1 minute, come close above, leave this area as a breaker. I'm gonna move my stop loss to break even. Though I appreciate this move, it's a good move to the upside, but we need closures more. In fact, not break even, but on the risk. Okay, nothing. Didn't do that. So, though it does have that breakup, but I'm not gonna move yet. Yes, it did leave. It has this breaker. Yeah, let me mark that. Very critical point here. If that holds, it's a very critical space to hold. Come, what are you doing? What are you doing? Don't enter things there. Look, we have a lot to discuss that I wanted to discuss. And just before I forget, I do have a long-term trade on, oh, nice close. That allows me to do something at least. We do have a long-term close. We do have a long-term trade on, let me see. Long-term trade on, oh, come on. Yeah. So I got tagged. I think it was got tagged here. Yeah. Got a move. I'm already entered entry already. So I want to see if we're going to get a move again. If this closes like this, I'm going to move my stop loss to break even. Should I? All the risk, but anyway. So this is a long-term trade I have. That's what I wanted to discuss. But today we started on a trade again. So you can't, like, you literally testing me, ne? So I love that held. I'm gonna move my stop loss to break even. Tombo, don't tell me what's wrong with me. We're gonna fight. I said no watching of that thing. Okay. Already a 1:1 we've been given. Stop loss at break even. loss at break even. Because it held that there's no reason. In fact, you could even move it up here. To hell that I know it might even come back again and give such a move, but it's fine. I don't know if I have moved any, but look, closed above here now. I'm happy with the stop loss at break even. If I fail, if it takes me out, I'll re-enter again. Yeah. Then so yeah, we're in this move. Let's see how it goes. Stop loss at break even. I'll love for you to continue with this. Already stop loss at break even. I'll love for you to continue like it's moving now. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's go the channel together. It's holding the 1 minute OB right now. If it goes above the 1 minute OB, definitely good trade. Remember, it could test. Let me see. Hmm. And be coming all the way up. No. No. What do you think, man? Are you on any trade or are you looking for any trade? And tell me where you're watching from. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave your comment. Let's engage. Look, this trade, it's a decent trade already. 1 is to 1.2. You could take profit where it is. Remember what happened the day before yesterday. So almost the 1 is to 2 now. Let's see if we're gonna still continue having this momentum. Do I want to secure profit here? Let me wait a bit. We seem to still have a good push to the upside. But honestly, just want to see how it closes. Go. 1 is to 2. Now we need to move aggressively. Just gonna be moving aggressively at 1 is to 1.5. But that might take me out, by the way. I just don't want it to come back to that low. Yes, I could one is to 2.5. Then I'm not gonna be moving again. Okay. Good trade. Okay, I'm out on this one. I'm left on the other account. But I'm happy with the trade. One is to one. Clean trade. I'm left on the other position on the other account. But good trade, man. Should be out. Yep. I'm out. So I got a one is to one, man. Why cry? First target was here. It reached all the target. Good trade, man. Good comeback after two losses. Could still go up to the take profit, but sometimes you need to be aggressive to move your stop loss. Like I don't want what happened the other day to repeat. So either way, I'll have moved my stop loss now. It will be taking me out. So good trade, man. Let's see. So one is to 2.3. Good trade. Good trade. I should say that was a good trade for today. I love the trade. It's a decent trade for the day. Most especially after messing up the previous few days. So sometimes I guess you need such trades. You need such trades sometimes. That was a good trade, ladies and gentlemen. As expected. I'm happy with the move. How many pips? How many points? Let's see. That's about 96 points. That's good. So I'm gonna stay outside for now. But the only thing I can say is that was a good trade. So that's the first trade. And the reason being for the trade, I don't know if you want us to discuss it. Leave a comment if you want us to discuss it. I'm not feeling when I'm hot. Leave a comment if you want us to discuss it. It's going to the final take profit. But look, I'm happy with the trade, man. I'm happy with the trade. Reason for the trade, it's easy. Reason for the trade came out, retested the 5 minutes fair value gap um, for both S&P NS, ES, and NQ, which is S&P 500 and Nasdaq. Retested the area. Um, okay. Immediately we started to see a rejection on the 1 minute time frame. We had so if we were to look at this, we had an SMT here with Nasdaq. So, or NQ, that is why I took NQ. The first target was this high, but I realized that it could have good momentum to the upside. Then I pushed it to that high. But I also got a bit up. So it's a decent trade. It's a decent trade. Let's see if we're off open, then we can start discussing. Oh, tired, because I'm gonna call it a day in. I don't think I'll take second trade today. Because the only time I can be able to take a second trade, it's a reaction above here. Ooh, look at that. Final take profit. Oh boy. Look at that. Final take profit hit. So if you held all the way up to this high, that is 1, 2, 3. Wow, interesting. But anyway, yeah, who moving? Okay, let's see if it opened. Come on, man. Okay, let's discuss other things. We've taken the trade. The trade is up. So let's discuss other things. Then we can call it a day. Here we go. So, uh, I've taken a loss on GPP CAD again. I'll explain where, but yeah, we've taken a loss on GPP CAD. Ah, man, this thing is slow today. Ooh. On the bearish side of USDs are GL, DEX. Interesting. We have silver. But anyway, what I wanted to discuss was JP Morgan. Earlier on, I spoke about JP Morgan saying a lot of long positioning. They have reduced their long positioning into precious market, and this is what you said. I can fix it for you. Hold on. Trumbo, you need to be patient. I said I'll fix it. So look at that. Look at gold. As much as we're net long, however, we had a lot of closed long short contracts. But most important, look at how many long contracts we closed. Yes, sir. We had a lot of long contracts that was closed, which was 43,000 long contracts closed, which also silver, there was not anything closed, it was just something that added, but there was a net closure of long contracts in precious metals. That's what JP Morgan was speaking about, which is very interesting and something to watch, something to be interested about. But there was a lot of, yeah, a lot of them, a lot of them. So this is something that I wanted to just highlight. I think it was important for JP Morgan to highlight as well and to say maybe JP Morgan is right and top setup. Not feeling well. I'm not feeling well, guys. I'm not feeling well. I might have to close the live early. Okay, this thing is acting up. On the long side, we have AD CAD JPY. You Trump, stop shouting at Malanda. Why does he have to sit down? When I do you sit down when we see sit down? Mhm. So if you're brave enough to hold, so if you're brave enough to hold the trade, you could have scored four more few points, man. But I know it's fine. Um, no, I might have to call the trade. I have AUD CAD bullish, Euro JPY bullish. Yeah. No, ladies and gentlemen, I have to go somewhere. I'll see you soon. Yes, yes. I'm back now. Oh, this thing totally reversed. Interesting. Totally reversed. It's a total reversal. Yeah, and I was saying, uh, let's discuss. So we're discussing why I took Australian dollar against Canadian dollar, but here it is, man. When you look at okay, what I was saying was the reason why I took look at the Canadian dollar, unemployment rate, it's increasing, which is bearish for the currency. The only good thing that came out that was January PPI. When you look at retail sales was poor, service PMI was quite high, was quite low, which is also bearish for the currency. And then GDP also, yeah, it was bullish, but neutral all in all. So it's 42% bearish. But when you look at the Canadian dollar, when you look at Canadian dollar, 66% bullish, and reason being PPI, which came out as expected, which was neutral. Unemployment rate dropped, which is bullish for the currency. We have inflation, which is increasing, bullish for the currency. And the reason being why, it's because you see increase in inflation. That forces the Australian Reserve Bank to cut rates, and they definitely did cut rates. I mean, to increase rate, they definitely did increase rate. I'll show you that. The only bearish thing is GDP growth, which Australian growth is not doing well, but the PMI also. So those are the things that I've been looking at. And all in all, when you look at interest rate, when you look at interest rate projection, it's interesting. Let me see if Australia is here. It's not here. Okay, it's not part of this, but they've recently increased interest rates. That is why the currency itself it's bullish against the Canadian dollar. So that's how I validated my trade. But honestly, not only that validated the trade I was looking for. but also, but not only that, that validated my trade, but also when you look at the top setup with the edge finder, when you look at the top setup with the edge finder, let's look at the top setup. Just loading hot solar. Oh no. When you look at the top setup with the edge finder. Oh, sorry, buddy. I was away, man. So for day trading, I use similar ICT. However, for swing trading, I use a combination of macros with I use a combination of macros with um, technicals. So top setup, as I was saying, Australian USD CAD is showing a bullish reading. That is why I waited for a technical setup to show up. That is why I went long on Australian dollar against the Canadian dollar with Canadian dollar weak but Australian dollar strong with the Canadian dollar strong. So so that's why I'm positioned long for now. But overall, there is other things. So I will be closely watching certain things. One of them, please, Mohit, please like and subscribe. And certain things that also I will be watching. Definitely, I'm more interested in it. I am still interested in NZD CAD, Australian JPY, NZD JPY. These are the most bullish ones. Yes, seasonality is bearish. COT data, they close a lot of NZD. However, when you look at, let me show you that from it. When you look at crowd sentiment, it's still bullish. GDP is still bullish for it. Generally, NZD JPY, it is definitely bullish. However, AUD still says 90 is still a problem. However, you look at trend bullish. Basically, everything else is bullish. Australian dollar is doing well against the American dollar in a way. If we were to compare the two, because the trade that I'm holding long term, it's comparing the two. So these are the one that I'm looking for long term. On the bearish side, honestly, there's nothing. Silver, yes, is bearish. S&P 500 is laid down, and we've seen that. Just for argument's sake and for clarity's sake, let's just look into all these pairs. Okay, we can speak first thing first. Let's look at all gold. Do not forget, Mohet, God is laid down to this, close to this support. So if you could look to enter trade. For me, I didn't take because there is some sort of saying you look at COT data, they are slightly closing all their long positioning, going into neutral space, looking to move into just neutral space. So I will be waiting outside, though there is uncertainty, but also there is a lot of indecisiveness in the market in terms of the crash. So everything else, it's down. Look at gold is down, but oil is an indication of inflation, it's up, which there could be indication that maybe inflation might be coming through. We look at the DXY, the dollar currency itself. uh, it held that support. It's retracing quite well to the upside. I am looking into this areas here. Maybe I'll look into shorting the dollar itself. About 75%, I might look to short the dollar. But for me, when you look at the hedge fund, I'm looking at NZDJPY. I might add a limit there. I might add a limit here. I need to set this up. As I said, oh, one thing I said I wanted to show you, I've taken two long positioning and both of them were lost, and the one that I'm on now is still looking good, but look at that. To be honest, I'm tempted in trying this trade here. I'm gonna attempt it again. I'm gonna attempt this long again. Let me see for I'm gonna attempt it. Hmm. Should I? Yeah, I'm gonna attempt it. No, I'm gonna attempt this long. I'm gonna attempt this long on GPP CAD. Already I've taken a loss, but I am gonna attempt it as in now. I'm already long AUD CAD. I've already explained why I'm long AUD CAD. Remember, this is not short-term trade. This is long-term. I'm gonna attempt it in market price to go long on GBP CAD. So GPB CAD. Take it. Sorry, I'm just. Ah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just attempting to go long here on market price. Uh, because it have that support. So okay, I'm long already. I jump on in again. Let's see how it unfolds. Sorry. Okay, I've already went on. I've already jumped in again. Fine. I've jumped on in again. As I said, I attempted the long here, took loss here. I've jumped on in, stop loss just below there. Uh, see, mm, yeah, I'm happy with the stop loss here. Yeah. So I'm long again. GPP CAD target will be that high. So I'm targeting 1.89186. That's my overall target for GPP CAD. I'm already long. And if we're to look at, oh, flip. Okay, I think I made a mistake here. I'm gonna close this trade. Yeah, I made a mistake. I'm gonna close it. Made a mistake, sorry. Yeah. Closing it. Break even. I can't go in. Reason being, I don't know what I was thinking. It's not part of my setup. It just went back into the neutral territory. So if it's not part of my setup, I'm not even gonna go and take it. But looking at my top setup, I said I wanted to see NZDJPY if I can get a trade. Yep, I said NZDJPY, I'm looking for that support. I want to attempt that high. And if I attempt it, it works, good for me. If it doesn't, call it a day. I'm gonna attempt this long, yeah. I don't know what I was thinking earlier. And also AUDJPY, I'm also watching it. Maybe I can add a limit as well. NZDK, I don't know if NZDK will work. Let me look at the technicals. Oh, it's quite overstretched. GJ, KJPY and GJ, those are the last two that I'm looking at. But I don't like KJPY, honestly. I'm not gonna even attempt to long this. Yes, it's at a good price to long, but this can flip anytime, so I'm not even gonna attempt it. Um, I was speaking about GJ, Euro JPY. Those are the last two that maybe we could get a trade on. GP by JPY. I'm hot, guys. Still looking for that low, which is quite low, but I'm gonna wait for it. I guess sometimes you have to be extremely patient. Also, same thing here. So my KJPY is the current trade that I have. Um, I guess that's what I have to hold on to. So NZJPY, I'm attempted to add. Oh shucks, I don't think this will hold, man. Now I'm gonna look for this low. I'm tempted to add my limit here. Let me add a limit now than what I was doing earlier. So, no, no. So I'm setting up something. I think this is a trade that I'm looking for. Just setting up my order, my pending order on NZDJPY. Sorry. Okay. Order set. Do you want me to show you my orders? So yeah, I think that's it. That's the one that I'm looking for now. So yeah, I think that's it, man. A lot of things can be discussed. If you had any question you could have asked, we'll look into it. But on the berry side, what do I have on the berry side? Honestly, I don't know. Euro NZD. I don't know my traders. USD is Euro AUD. Okay. Let's look at USD ZAR. I don't normally trade USD ZAR, by the way. Yes. So what did you do? So for USD ZAR, it would be interesting to see if you can go short here. But for me, I don't like trading USD ZAR. What do you want, Lala? Trombo Sasa, Trombo. But now it's Lala 10. No, you've been watching for long. Trombo, put for Lala. Oh, you see what you're doing? Sharp, sharp, mfam. Um, Look, you can look for this low here as a retest, but for me, I do appreciate that low to look for shorts. But for now, it's still a bit overstretched for shorts. DEX. It's interesting that DEX is bearish, and I've not even looked at it. It's holding that support, eh? Yeah? Klompo. So, Klompo, you don't want, ne? All right, sharp. Don't come to me again about my phone. Look at that support. It's holding this support. I love that. And also, SA Top 40 is doing the same. So, look at that. Come close above. SA Top 40 you can buy here. But the problem will be, let me see. Let me see. Okay. I think that's it for the day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining me. Do not forget to like and subscribe. Join me on the last day of the trading.